Line at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Behind the Game with PJ. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Priscilla Joseph.
Welcome in to Ticket Weeknight. Sorry, we got cameras twisted all over the place, trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. But welcome to Ticket Weeknights. This is Behind the Game with PJ. Priscilla Joseph is here. I am Rico. I am also here, but I do not matter. I am just here to push buttons and move levers. It's fine. You can get in contact with us. Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. That's fine. You ignore me all you want. I might fall asleep. It's whatever. 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. Join us on the live video stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We have a very special guest joining us. Hey. Priscilla, if you would like to introduce your guest, because I don't want to butcher her last name.
All right.
It is so hard. So hard.
No, it is not. This is Tania Pecoraro sitting with us on Behind the Game with PJ. And I'm so excited that you're here. I haven't seen your face in forever.
My chica! Oh,
no. Oh my God. Mickey's like, we're calling in. We're going to blow up your station. I'm like, oh.
And the boys just saw each other, like 2 days ago recruiting?
So not fair, right? Like, it's not fair that they get to see each other. It's awesome that they get to see it, but it's not fair. Right?
Like, I know. That's why vacation is calling soon, hopefully.
I'm like ready, but then like I really don't want to see the kids like that.
I know. Well, we need to be more specific in like adult vacation only, but I need football to slow down just a little bit so we can have some time.
Totally. I know. And it's so funny because it's gone by slow, but like fast, right? Like I'm like, I was just telling you, like, I'm like, we've never had Mickey gone for this long period of time. And I was like, oh, that's a long time. But then I was like, oh, this kind of went by pretty quick.
It is. It's so long. And then I feel with football changing and the portal, like it's recruiting all year long. Like when I first started with Tony, it was like, okay, season and then after season, then recruiting. And I feel like now it's recruiting and season together. It's all the time. And I'm like, what's happening?
I know. It's so funny. We totally had, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we talked about like this whole recruiting thing. Me and Mickey have this whole conversation and I want to see what your like point of view is and all that stuff. Cause it's changing like daily, it's just like, new things are happening and it's like you're always trying, like I feel like we're always trying to like one up somebody, right? Like it's just like you're always trying to stay ahead, you're always trying to like get things done. But anyways, where are you, or share with our listeners, where are you like zooming in from?
So we are in Lake Charles, Louisiana. We just got to McNeese State. Woo-hoo! We just got here. Tony got the position, the DC position in December. And me and the kids moved at the end of February. So it was a pretty quick move. For us, we always like to move really quick because I don't like to be in separate houses. Even though Tony is not home a lot, at least we know that he's coming home or we get to see him a few minutes in the morning. So we do try to move quickly, but we are in Lake Charles, so we've only been here a few months. But so far it's been amazing. It's our first time in the state of Louisiana, so that's really awesome.
No, like we were there for 5 years. Why couldn't y'all move there?
I know. That's how like the football life works. It's like you get close to somebody and then you finally get an opportunity professionally to move closer and then they're gone. So I'm like, what are the chances we come to Louisiana finally and then boom, you're out.
And I was like, Mickey, fix this. Fix it.
I know.
All right. So I kind of want, let's go ahead. Well, before we start, we are wine drinkers here.
Okay.
So I'm going to share with what we're drinking. Okay, so share. I don't know if they can see the bottle.
Okay, we can see it now. I'm not blurry. We got it.
It's Prayers of Saints. It's a 2018 Chardonnay. So it's like a touch of soft. It's really light, refreshing. And it doesn't say much, but it's supposed to be light and refreshing. So we'll let everyone know because I've already poured us. I opened it already. So that we wouldn't.
You've been drinking already.
Well, I haven't tried it yet. I poured it, but I haven't had a drink yet. So cheers. What are you drinking?
I have a paloma. I had Tony make me a little paloma, which is a little bit of a different version, but it's tequila and fresca. Very light and low calorie, but
summer.
Mama needs her juice. Mama needs her juice. So we got it.
I think that was like one of our things, like where we were just like connected and just like, well, in Mississippi we were drinking beer.
Yeah. And
now we're like wine and all the fancy shit.
No. Mississippi was pretty much beer. Okay. And
things.
That's like the second time I've had to hit the dump button on you. Watch yourself. We haven't even started drinking yet.
Listen.
We have like a whole 2 hours still. We just started. Relax. I understand that you're with one of your really good friends, but
it's my fault. We have not like physically seen each other in so long. Well, no, we saw each other like when we went to New Orleans with the kids.
Did, but like Melania's like, when do I get to see my cousins again?
I know. It's like our football family, right? It's just, I'm so thankful for obviously our family, but when you are in this life, you're like football becomes your family because you don't live near family. And so we have, I call it like you have almost acquaintances or football family that is kind of, you're going to run into them at some point, but then you have like your inner circle where you grew up together in the profession, and that is unbreakable. So she is one of them.
Yes. So let's go ahead and how about you give us a little like background on like your husband, Tony, like where you guys met, where you're from, where he's from, how long y'all been together, and how many stops have y'all made on this football journey? It might take us a while to get to those stops though, because girl,
look, we've had a lot of stops, but it's okay.
We have like a whole TikTok like packing.
Yeah.
Like
so it's just so long. So Tony and I met in 2008. We were both at Florida State. So I was working in the sports information department, and Tony was obviously with football. We were set up on a blind date, and it was not love at first sight. I will tell you that. I'm very talkative, and Tony is like straight football. And then other than that, he's really chill. And a few months later, we ran into each other. Yeah. A few months later, we ran into each other in the athletic department, and we just kind of hit it off. So it worked out. So we've been together since 2008. Our first stop, we moved directly from Florida State to North Alabama. And that's a D2 school, very successful. He was a DC. From North Alabama, we went to Concord really quickly. And then good old Mississippi, Alcorn State came calling, where I met Priscilla.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, so we went to Alcorn and we were there for 4 years, which was amazing. We had our son there, and it was an unbelievable experience at Alcorn. I mean, what a ride, right? I mean, and
I feel like that's where, for at least for our family, like that's our football family. Like
Yeah.
Y'all, Shay, Losi, like that is our football family where that was such a special group with like the wives and the
It
guys.
was.
And it may have had something to do with like living in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Yes. So if you're not familiar with Alcorn, so it is by Port Gibson, Mississippi. So the closest Walmart is 45 minutes away, and
I'm
the
not
closest
going to no damn Piggly Wiggly.
okay, the closest Target, like any shopping, Target, Ross, TJ Maxx, you name it, it was an hour and a half away. So really all that we had to do was go to each other's houses. We would carpool to away games because they were drivable. But I will say we have never had stronger connections than we did at Alcorn.
Yes.
It
Agreed.
was amazing because I feel like every single coach, whether you were a full-time coach, you were an assistant, you were in equipment, you were the athletic director, I don't care who it was, everybody was on the same page to build the program and be successful. And
Yeah.
it's not like that all the time. I'm sure
And
you know.
everyone struggled together.
Everybody struggled, everybody was in chaos, but we all had one vision, which was to build a program, pour into these players, and really hold each other up because we were all at different stages, you know, like you and Mickey didn't have kids. I had Rocky, you know, my son, like Stephanie had kids, like all of us had kids, but some of us were girlfriends or engaged, like Maddie and Shay. I mean, it's like we were all in different chapters.
Yes. No, totally. And I'm like, but it was such a like it's such a special, unique group. And then it's so funny because Mickey came home from seeing Tony and he was like, people ask me like, how are y'all so close? And he's like, oh, y'all have no idea. Like
we grew up together. We grew up together.
Yes, we did. Yes. That was it. We grew up together. That was it.
So we, from Alcorn, we won some championships. We did really well. We went with the head coach at the time to Southern Miss. We were at Southern Miss for 2 years as the DC. From Southern Miss, we went to FAU, the DC there for a season, then went to KU, and we were there for 1 season with Coach Miles. Then we left KU, came back to Southern Miss for a season, chaotic 2020 season. It's just never in history has that happened. From Southern Miss, the second time, we went to South Al for a season, and from South Al, now we are here at McNeese. So in total, it is 10 stops since the 14 years that Tony and I have been together. 10. But he has been in coaching for 21 years. But of course, 14 chaotic years with me. It's been 10 stops. So he's really testing me.
Listen, you must really love him because
I do. Look, this life is not for everybody. Okay.
Tony's a good one though. I love me some Tony. Tony brings the calm over everyone.
He's a very, very chill. He's non-drama, runs the other way. Like he really just wants to don't bring a problem to him. He wants a solution and he wants you to dominate and just move on.
Move in. Let's go.
Yeah, which is sometimes hard for a wife, right? Like sometimes I just want to complain. Like I just want you to sit.
Let me sulk in this. I need you to listen. I need you to let me stop right here. So let me ask you this. What's the difference between Alcorn? Because you guys were in Mississippi, in the state of Mississippi for a while.
A long time.
So y'all were in the state of Mississippi, one state that I cannot stand. And we were in the state of Louisiana. We were in Louisiana for 9 years and you guys were in Mississippi for a while. So what was the difference between Alcorn and Southern Miss? Like, do you feel like there is a big difference in culture or?
I mean, I will say at Alcorn, and you could probably attest to it, I think the first year that we were all hired, people were like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay, what's happening? They, you know, nobody was really sure about this new staff because his, you know, right prior to us all arriving at Alcorn, they were not successful. Okay, and if I could put it to you this way, when we got to Alcorn, there was nothing. Like when I talk about no office equipment, no video system, no pens, like no office chairs. Like when I tell you it, there needs to be a book about Alcorn, like all the things that we went through.
Yeah.
So I feel after we proved that we were all there to really rebuild Alcorn to what it used to be, then they were so excited for us. Like they really loved us. They bought into us. The community was amazing. I was a teacher there for the whole time we were at Alcorn. It was amazing experience, you know, serving those students, and it was a lot of fun. So Alcorn was great. Southern Miss, I think, was really tough because I think a lot of times, you know, fans don't understand what coaches go through and they live in the past. So just because you were successful 5 years ago does not necessarily mean that you're going to be successful now, right? I mean, football changes year to year. Look how crazy it was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So with Southern Miss, I did feel at times like we could not do any good because it was just it was a lot of hard, like uphill, no matter what we did, it was just like not good enough.
Mud.
Yeah, and that's really disheartening because as a spouse, you want to just defend, you know, your spouse for everything that they're giving. Because I promise you guys, if we lose, trust me, we're upset. Okay, like our husbands are upset. Like nobody's goal is to wake up and lose, right? Nobody's goal is to like give up 50 points, right? Especially.
And I can guarantee you, a lot of these fans don't understand what it's like to sit. Like, I mean, after game, we have to drive home. Like, I mean, Mickey doesn't drive to the game, so we drop him off in the morning, and then we drive home. So the drive home is either like when we lose, it's not silence unless it's like pure, like something went real south. It's a lot of bad words that I'm not allowed to say on the radio.
Don't please.
So listen,
we only have 5 seconds.
Well, it's hard to just sit there and then listen. My kids know all the cuss words because they've heard them all on the way home. You know what I mean? So I can tell you, there's not a fan out there that knows what it's like to sit in a car with a coach that has prepped for the last 2 weeks, because it's not just the week that they're preparing for. They prep during the summer, and then the week up. You know what I mean? The week prior, depending, you know, and the week of. So it's all of this hours and hours and hours of time that they're going through, and then all of a sudden they lose, and it's like, can you just imagine? Like, I really want fans to like think you spend 60 hours at work and you completely, like, you're rated on win or lose and you lost. How upset do you think you could possibly be? And it's probably on the extreme scale, because if you have one loss, that could be your job. And that's what it's like for us.
Absolutely. And I always try to tell people, I feel like ever since we went through the chaos of 2020, okay, at Southern Miss, that was our second stop, okay, our second time at Southern Miss. It was during COVID. After game 1, okay, our head coach was let go, okay, so then we got another coach, so we're on coach number 2, and 3 games
after one game.
Okay, after game 1, and we literally just moved back, right? Okay, so after game 1, head coach gets fired, okay, so and now we're like,
what were you as a coach's wife thinking?
I was terrified because, you know, Tony can move me anywhere. Like, I am very adaptable. I do feel like I'm outgoing. Like, I want to hang out. I will talk to anybody, you know.
Me too. However, my friend here, though.
I'll be your friend. So I feel like I can move anywhere, but that was like
my friend.
When Tony said that he was going back to Southern Miss, it was the first time that I was like, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, but it's the first time that we've ever been together that I was like, something doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is. but ultimately he wanted to go. I support my husband. It was in a way going towards a different home back because I knew people on staff. We knew the school systems. I was a teacher there. I was going to go back to teaching. Like, it was very comfortable to go back. Game one, head coach gets fired. And I was like, okay, we're done. So now we've moved here and now we're going to move again. And I'm tired, you know? Yeah. And then it's scary because a lot of times coaches get let go, like with 2 games left in the season. Can you imagine your head coach getting let go and you have 12 games left to play? It is chaotic. So then we have an interim coach.
Anxiety galore.
Anxiety galore. We have an interim coach. He coaches for 3 games. Okay. He takes another job after 3 games. Okay. So by game 5 of a season, and we still have what, like, we still have 7 games left to play in the season. We are on head coach number 3. Okay. And what an amazing testament to those coaches and those players. Like, you talk about tuning out the chaos and negativity, because the fans ate us alive.
The portal wasn't that great.
Oh my gosh.
Open as it is now. You know what I mean? Like, now it's like they have, at any moment they can jump in.
They can leave. That's
and
what
at the time then they didn't. Right? Because that was that time they didn't have that. Yeah.
Very, very few players chose to not finish the season. It was amazing. What a testament. Like, you talk about it could have gone one way, and the coaches, because at that point, like, after you lose your head coach, you're like, okay, we're probably all going to get fired because they're going to bring a new coach in. After you lose your interim coach, you're like, we're officially done. And it could have been very volatile. Yeah, it could have been volatile, like every man for themselves, everybody stayed united. Everybody was like, y'all, we need to finish out the season, do as best as we can so we can all get a job because we have families to feed. You know, so it never in the history of football has that ever happened. It's crazy.
Insane. So we're going to have to take a quick little break, and then we'll come back and we'll continue on Behind the Game with PJ.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Snarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. StarterHeyman.com.
You know that feeling after a good, hearty meal? The worries of the world just slip away. Time slows down. Nothing but good times and good company. That's what you get with Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Mary Ellen's does food right, with a menu that includes smoked wings, pulled pork, brisket, catfish. And don't sleep on their sides, shrimp and grits, collard greens, baked beans. It's food that makes your heart happy. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, just east of 27th and Pine Lane. Let them fix you a plate.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
by their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Jake Bakovan here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Solarion. A lot of people don't understand what Solarion is all about or have some preconceived notions about it, but I've participated in their studies for many years and keep going back for many reasons. First off, the staff always treats me well, makes me well aware of what I'm doing, and they're really knowledgeable and informative. That always gives me the comfort to keep going back. Some people do studies as often as they can, while others just look for ones that fit into their schedule. Last year, more than 1,700 people completed the screening process for a study. Whether you're male or female and at least 19 years of age, you're eligible. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day by participating in a research study at Solarion, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them. But I think in reality, he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me. And my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Back to Behind the Game with PJ on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh my gosh, love it.
Hey.
Right around the corner.
High Step will be there. We always try to have our own little party. So we bring wine into it.
It's a good party. We need to come out there and visit. I've never been to the state of Nebraska.
Welcome back to Behind the Game with PJ on Ticket Weeknights, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We're speaking to Tania. How do you say your last name again? I'm sorry.
Pecoraro.
Pecoraro.
You can say pepperoni, peccaccini.
Tania Pepperoni. Tania Pecoraro. I'm going to tell it. Pecoraro. TP.
Yeah, they just, like the players say Coach Peck, or even when I was a teacher, they would say Miss Peck. So Peck. Everybody knows him by Tony Peck or Tony P.
Okay, we're speaking to PJ and Peck on Behind the Game with PJ, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. You got any questions? 402-464-5685. Honda and Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. PJ's got her own questions, but if you have anything that you might want to ask, go right ahead. We might answer it. We might not. I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
That's it. I mean, listen, how can you not? Rico, you don't have any questions after hearing half of her, not even half of their story?
Look, my only question, like how? Like what? Like what?
He's like, is this true?
Like
I'm
one
yes.
head coach, 2 interns, and you didn't know if you were even gonna if
retained,
your husband was gonna stay there, if you guys were gonna be able to stay. Like, how do you get through that?
Okay, so we have been through a lot. I will say that I come from an immigrant family. Okay, so my family was my grandparents' mom. They were born in Cuba, so they worked their tail off to make it here. Okay, and my husband's family is also an immigrant family, and so I feel like we are hustlers. Like, that's why I say he can move me anywhere and we will figure it out. So like we just know what the mission is, like, get through it. You know, I really believe that he is called to be in it, to be a coach. I am called to be with him. I'm not saying that we are perfect and that we have not struggled, because we have had our struggles, and Lord knows we have had really hard things to face. However, I do feel that it has made us a lot stronger, and I feel like it really brought us together. Like it really did, because the staff stayed unified. I think it would have been a totally different experience if after we lost the second coach or the third coach, it would have been divided. It would have been hostile. It would have been backstabbing, but everybody stayed united. And that really makes a difference, because I'm sure Priscilla can attest to it, that we have been part of staffs that are not united. And you can be so successful on the field, and if you are not united, it is a miserable experience off the field and in the office. And you kind of question to yourself of like, what is it worth? Like your quality of life, what is it worth? So I think that we made it through and we stuck together because of the staff that was there at Southern Miss finishing it out. And those players, I want to just thank those players, because like Priscilla was talking about earlier, is our husband's job is in the hands of 18 to 21-year-olds. Like, just think about that. Like, it's like you're a parent and you tell your kid to do something and they don't do it. And but we get fired for it, right? It's hard. Like, no, people don't think about that. They're like, oh my gosh, like, you know, defense gave up 35 points. And it's like, do you think we wanted that?
Yeah.
You know?
Lose by 30 points. No biggie.
Yeah. It's like cringeworthy, you know? And I also got through it because the Southern Miss offices face the field. So I would literally shut myself in Tony's office and make myself some mama juice. And I was like, kids, get on the iPad. We're just going to write it out. Because it just becomes so toxic in the stands. And you're like, we have 6 more games. How are we going to do this?
Like, you literally just clock out and just try to make
clock
it
out. Yeah. So, but we made it and we're okay. But it was a testament to the staff that remained and the players.
Yes. So let me ask you this. What has been your favorite stop, or like your happiest stop?
I feel like we can pull happiness from everywhere, because we really have taken something out. Like, I can honestly say in my inner circle and Tony's inner circle, we have made connections at every stop. However, I feel like it's tough, because one of my best stops is also one of my most challenging stops, and that was FAU. Because FAU, when we left the first time Southern Miss, we left to FAU. That was an in-conference school. And before we got a call to go to FAU, my grandfather, who is like my world, like literally a month before we got a call to FAU, he got diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And I just remember being in Miami and just kind of seeing like his, you know, like really downfall. And I was like, what am I going to do? I'm working. Tony's here. We're in Mississippi. How can I fly? How can I? And then he got a call literally 1 month later to go to FAU. And I was like, it is like from God. Like literally from God. Like, what are the chances that we get a call from an in-conference school to go to Florida, and we're an hour from my family, and specifically my grandfather, you know, and I was like, this is amazing. And so we went home, and it was not the experience we wanted. Okay. It was very tough. And everything that we had imagined and planned and wanted went literally the complete opposite way.
Listen, after your experience there, not even, and it was just like when we talked while you guys were there and seeing all of your family posts, like all,
yes.
I literally, after you guys left, I told Mickey, I go, we're never allowed to move to Arizona.
Yes.
Because as happy and excited that I and the kids would be, it would be that much harder to leave. Like,
it is.
Okay, Daddy got a new job, so now we got to, like, getting there is the exciting part, but like trying to stay there is what's the most difficult part, which we obviously have no control over. And you guys were only there for a year, like a season, not even an entire year.
Yeah,
like,
it was just a season.
Like, I can't imagine pulling my kids from my family, because that's like, it was your family, like from my family and I'm just like, no Arizona jobs. Like,
it is, it's so hard.
Like, hey, Arizona State's open, or like, hey, you know, like,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, let's do it. He's like, but you remember you said like we can't go to Arizona. I'm like, no, that's right. Like, we're not allowed to.
It's hard.
It's
really, yeah. You are so right, especially coming from a Hispanic family. Okay.
Yes, that makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference, because when I moved down, you know, at the time, my grandfather remembered who I was, you know, right? It was like the early stages of Alzheimer's. And so he remembered who I was. He knew who my kids were. He knew who my husband was. Like, you know, so we moved immediately, and it was like amazing. I would bring him to the house. He was like a part of us. He just like was so happy, because he understood Tanya's coming back home. My mom was there, my uncle, my cousins. Like, it was really unbelievable, because it was the first time I was coming home from college. It was a long time that I had moved away from Miami. And it was such a bizarre experience when we were, you know, let go, to tell my family before it became public, like, we have been let go and we're moving. And they were like, no, you just got to.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Okay, well, that's okay. Just like tell him to like apply for something else.
Like, no, tell Tony he can, like, my family would be like, no, well, Tony can leave. You know what I mean? Like, Mickey can leave. Like, no, okay.
It was like, because you're, as a wife and as a spouse, you're trying to keep it together, right? Because your husband is obviously devastated, right? And so you're trying to keep it together. You're keeping it together for your kids. But because it was home for me, it was so much harder to like keep it together, because I was like, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. And in my head, I was like, are we going to be fine? No, we're not going to be fine. We're not going to be fine. We're leaving.
No, there's no way I'm okay. Like, I just remember when you guys were there, I was just like,
it was hard.
Like, I was just like,
yeah, it was really hard.
I couldn't. And then like, but it was meant to be. It was like, it was aligned that way so that you guys could be there because of what you and your family were going through, and it worked out.
Yeah.
But talk about just probably your toughest stop in.
I think that was tough, you know, because it was telling your family goodbye. And I was like you, Priscilla, where I had always told Tony, I don't want to move near family, because I don't want to say goodbye, because I am a very family oriented person, you know, and I grew up like that. I grew up with my grandparents 2 houses down from me, going there every weekend, growing up with my cousins, like, and my kids don't have that opportunity. They you know, they don't know that, you know, they don't see their grandparents every weekend or every month. And, you know, so that was incredibly different.
When it was cold here, I was like, Melania, you want to move to Arizona? Like, we could leave Daddy here and like, we'll just come visit him like during football season. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you know, you can grow up with your cousins and like, you can see my pie.
What does that mean?
And she's like, but what about Daddy? I'm like, girl, I don't care about him right now. Like, I want to go home. It's hot in Arizona.
I know. It's so hard. My kids are growing up a completely different way than I did. Now, Tony's dad, kind of little backstory, Tony's dad was a chef for like 30 years. So they moved around a lot. So Tony is used to moving around, right?
Okay.
Girl from Miami. No. Okay, look, our neighbors, we just wave. We don't talk to neighbors. We don't go play in houses. You know, like my family comes to visit me and my kids are like in people's houses and I don't know their last name and they're like, Tanya, what are you doing with your kids? And I was like, this is the South. This is what they do. They play in people's houses. They just get to know neighbors. Your neighbors are your family. I did not grow up that way.
Same. All right. Well, we got to take a quick little break and then we'll come back and finish your story of your football journey.
Hey, it's Nelson. Have you stopped by the newest Caterpillar Vapes location? It's here in Lincoln at 2601 North 11th Street and offers you the largest selection of premium e-juice, CBD, and Delta 8 in the capital city. Let the Caterpillar Vapes team walk you through all your options and find the perfect fit for you. Lowest prices? Guaranteed. Stock up and save and experience the difference for yourself. Returning Caterpillar customers grab rewards and amazing weekly deals, and new Caterpillar customers get 50% off their entire first purchase. Come in or use the drive-thru. Find them on Facebook or visit CaterpillarVapes.com.
Spring has arrived. Dust off your clubs and play the city. Lincoln City Golf Courses offer 5 different places to play, including Homes, Pioneers, Highlands, Mahoney, and the par 3 Jim Ager course. Plus, one membership gets you access to all 5 courses, or ask about a discount card that gets you 15% off all rounds. There's also adult classes with lessons for every level with Lincoln City Golf Academy. Learn more about membership and classes today at lincolncitygolf.org.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is searching for mechanics of all skill levels to grow with us. Landmark offers a competitive wage, full benefits package, along with paid time off within just 60 days of employment, as well as a 401k and a boot and clothing allowance. Interested in becoming a part of the Landmark difference? Apply now at landmarkimp.com/careers or contact Deanna 402-310-7561 or email careers@landmarkimp.com. That's landmarkimp.com. Landmark Implement is an equal opportunity employer.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you want to come and text us,
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Nominations for the Serve Nebraska Step Forward Awards are now open. Volunteers are making Nebraska communities stronger every day. Help us celebrate their hard work by nominating the volunteers in your life. The Step Forward Awards are the most prestigious awards for volunteerism in the state, and honorees are hand-selected by Nebraska's governor. Learn more about the Step Forward Awards and submit a nomination by July 1st at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
When we're looking out for a homeowner, we're always keeping their budget in mind. We try to maximize things that are important to them.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
So we really try to maximize the size because 5 years from now, you can't just make your house bigger. The one thing I can tell you is that most builders in Lincoln, we all are about the same price. The difference comes in the products that we put in and the way we put in those products. The old saying, you get what you pay for, is pretty accurate when you're building a home. If you put nicer windows in and you put nicer cabinets, it's going to cost a little bit more. If those things are important to you, then you want to do it. We can try to incorporate in your floor plan and get a house that you're going to be happy with.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Nominations for the Serve Nebraska Step Forward Awards are now open. Volunteers are making Nebraska communities stronger every day. Help us celebrate their hard work by nominating the volunteers in your life. The Step Forward Awards are the most prestigious awards for volunteerism in the state, and honorees are hand-selected by Nebraska's governor. Learn more about the Step Forward Awards and submit a nomination by July 1st at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Woohoo! Snarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to Behind the Game with PJ on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is really good wine. You can speak into the mic. It's on.
Should I put my lips on it so you can
I really would if I was you. Welcome back to Behind the Game with PJ. Yes, it's really good. I finished mine.
It's like a good summer.
It's delicious. Why do you think I'm talking reckless?
Yeah,
That means you need to catch up.
Listen, he was.
No, we can't know.
He was going in on Mickey jokes.
And don't drink anymore.
Tell the people what I was saying. Look.
He said that's why he was talking reckless. And I was like, you
talking reckless. What's up? What's up?
Don't you talk about Mickey.
But for real,
Mr. Best Receivers
Prayer
Coach in the nation.
It's a really good summer Chardonnay because it is very light and refreshing.
It's delicious. It's really good wine.
Rico finished it. Usually he doesn't. Usually he doesn't finish it until the very end.
It's
That's 2 hours.
Well,
Oh my gosh, so you babysit a little.
I get to sit here and just listen to you guys talk. I don't have to do any talking on my own, so I get to drink more wine, which is fine with me.
It can be dangerous though.
I'll be fine. There's candy up. There's candy up
Keep
front.
the camera is rolling during commercials so
No,
y'all can hear
no,
it.
we
Need to
can't
be
do that.
secretly recording him to see what's going on.
How reckless he's talking now.
No, that's why I've like checked the cameras multiple times to make sure all the right ones are muted so nobody can hear me.
Priscilla's gonna have to bloop you.
For him to show Mickey.
Don't do that.
To
Don't
show
do that.
Mickey, like,
Don't record me.
this is what Rico was saying about
Look.
you in the commercials.
Look,
Mickey is tired. Get that man off the road recruiting. He is
I wasn't
tired.
saying anything bad. I was just,
Speaking the truth.
I was
Tell
just,
him,
I was just
Rico.
doing my thing, you know.
You
I
better
got.
you
Look,
better stay on your
look,
good side. That's
look,
what he said.
look. Mickey's in charge of the receivers. I got a couple receivers I really like. I just want to see him play. It's whatever.
You're just rooting for them.
I just want to see him play.
Oh man.
And I
He's gonna be
hope-
one
and
of
I-
those coaches in the stands.
And I hope- No, I don't sit in the stands. I'm back here watching on the TV, so I'll be yelling at the TV. I know he can hear me, but it's okay. Behind the Game with PJ, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
We got Tania Peck.
job.
with
Keep it with the Peck.
Peck and PJ. PJ and Peck.
PJ. Peck and PJ.
Chica, my Chica.
I know. Oh my god. I miss Mississippi days. Oh my god. Wait, listen. Like Mickey was going back and was just like, they're on the road, and I love that he gets to see everybody. And I'm like, he like FaceTimes me like, oh my god, look who I'm with, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm taking care of your damn children over here.
Yeah.
Not fair that you
get to have an uninterrupted meal. You get to go to the restroom. You don't have to do school car line.
You have a little kid sitting staring at you like, Mommy, you done? You done going pee? You done? No, not yet.
Gosh. No, I'm not done. Izzy graduated preschool today, so she's home for the summer. So my tequila intake has to.
My tequila intake starts tomorrow because I get my pre-vacation or pre-summer trip. I'm leaving town for a couple days. Like, good luck, Mickey. Good luck, Mickey.
Tag him in. So I know one of the questions that you had asked me was like, do you have a to-do list? I do not have a to-do list. I call it a put me in coach list because I will tell you, I am the coach in the house, right?
Yes.
So he's the coach outside of it. So I feel like Tony has been always awesome that whenever he gets home, he's like, where do I go? Tell me where to go. And I'm like, dishwasher, bath time, bedtime, dogs. Like I have a put me in coach list for Tony, and he is awesome. Like I can't complain. He's very good when he does come home.
Well, I'm jealous. I would, if I came up with the honey-do list, Mickey would like look at it and be like, "That's cool."
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it. Yeah.
That can you call somebody to come do it? That's what like. Why didn't you just call somebody to come do it?
Now, not handy.
What are you doing?
Not handy. I'm more handy than him. I have to.
I don't even know if listen. I'm sure Mickey can change a light bulb. I'm sure he can. And usually he can take out batteries from the detector thing, but I don't know about putting them back in.
No,
just straight up, just flames.
He has to get
look.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he can change a light bulb.
I'm not sure. Find me a coach who is handy. Okay, most coaches are not handy.
They can throw a ball, they can get hit by their players, but yet
you can do all this, but you can't put together a shelf from IKEA.
Tony can't. He will admit he will be the first one.
No way.
Does Tony follow the directions, or does he just build it?
Are you kidding me? Like, don't you have the handyman?
Yeah, no, like he will get so frustrated and he will literally have like outbursts while he's reading the directions. I was like, oh no. I remember I was pregnant with our first and, living in Mississippi, okay? And I got a dresser and I was like, Tony, we have to build this. Like the baby, might come early with it. And so it was him and our football family, Eric Losi, okay? And he was living with us, right? That's another key point of coaches is that a lot of times when you move and there's a coach that moves before their family, they live with you, right? So Priscilla can probably attest to it as well, that a lot of times you have coaches that live with you before their family moves for months at a time. And so one of our football family friends lived with us while I was pregnant, before I gave birth, and they were in charge of building a dresser. When I tell you, they finished the dresser and they're like, we have extra pieces. They've made a mistake. I was like,
extra pieces.
I said they did not send you extra pieces. Okay, guys?
They always send you extra pieces in case something breaks while you're putting it together.
Wait, now that we're talking about Losi, I got to tell everybody Losi's story. So at Alcorn, I was coaching softball. Losi was our O-line coach. And Losi used to, we were the closest house leaving the school. So as soon as you got out of Lorman, we were like the first house. So everybody used to come to our house. Well, Losi would always get out of the office before Mickey and sometimes before me. There was this one time I'm coaching, Mickey's in the office. I'm on my way home. I get in the house and I hear like all of this noise in the kitchen. I'm like, snap.
Great catch. Proud of you there.
Snap. Who is in my house?
Mm-hmm.
And like he had sent me a text, but I didn't receive it.
And you probably didn't have good service, to be honest.
I was like, yeah, didn't get it. And he had texted me saying like, hey, I'm coming over, because anytime Losi came over, he was coming over to cook or with something. Like he never came empty-handed or was always cooking, always doing something.
Yeah. But
I'm like, who is in my? I am like calling Mickey. Mickey's not answering. I'm like, all right, I'm going in. I got my bat with me. And Losie's like, hey, I'm like, Bray, you could have like called me. He's like, I text you. I said I was like,
you.
He's like, I told you I was gonna make some queso. I was like,
he did love queso.
Like, Losi,
but that's how comfortable we were. Like, see, that is a testament that we would go in and out.
My house, yeah. Like everyone was just
in and out.
In the house.
But did you have queso?
And Losi makes some good queso. Though.
Okay, then I don't know why you're complaining.
Well,
when he lived with us, he was literally like more organized than my husband, and I was like,
oh, absolutely.
He was so organized. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So, well, all right, we gotta. Do you have to go? Or can we do one more little segment?
We could do one more segment. We're good. I have not heard the kids. I don't know what Tony is doing, but just keep it going. I'm safe in this room.
Bribery. He probably bribed them with ice cream. So we're gonna.
I literally told him, whatever you need to do
it.
And he was like,
Mickey's like, I'm not driving to Target right now. That's what Mickey. All right, we're gonna take a quick little bit break, and then we'll come back on Behind the Game with PJ.
Welcome to Heartland Flats Beatrice, your home for modern Midwest living. Our finely crafted apartments boast spacious 1 and 2 bedroom floor plans with incredible amenities, including stainless steel appliances, luxury vinyl flooring, modern electronic locks, and are pet friendly. Each apartment has its own in-unit washer and dryer, and our innovative utility bundling saves you money. Call 402-251-3020 to schedule your showing today. That's 402-251-3020. Heartland Flats Beatrice, modern Midwest living.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Hot, breezy conditions here for our Thursday. We top out at 95. Southwest winds gusting over 25. We will see a chance of isolated thunderstorms late this afternoon, but especially into this evening. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low 57. Much cooler tomorrow, much more typical for this time of year. We'll top out at 71. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Cynthia and Ed.
My mother was always very active and independent, and she was familiar with her neighborhood. But one day, out of the blue, she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn or just stay at the stop sign. She wasn't even really sure where she was at. She was very concerned. It was very unsettling for her.
It's important for you to talk to someone about it, to bring the family in on it. I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dave Austed from Austed's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet.
Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
After the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Like the Bowmans, you too can make your dream home a reality. Call us at 423-6811 or online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, that frog will boil. As a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans, it's a story that rings true. We learn to endure the heat in silence. We apply what we learn to life, the bills, the job, the family, things we're expected to handle with ease. When life heats up around us, we just try to stay afloat. We let the water boil. Reaching out isn't easy, but you've never been interested in easy. You joined because you were not afraid of hard work. You are not a frog. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait until the water boils. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach. Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
2022 is all about staying well. And guess what? There are lots of easy ways to take care of your mental and physical health every day, like eating right and exercising, taking vitamins, drinking water, scheduling those annual doctor's visits, or just resting. That's right, even a quick nap counts. Because let's be honest, these days we could all use a little more wellness in our lives. So stay well, Nebraska. For more ways you can stay healthy, visit staywellnebraska.com.
Beatrice Bakery. They ship cakes all over the country. True story. But take a look inside their shop and you'd have no idea. This is a Nebraska product through and through. Not some massive production plant. Local people making delicious cake just for you. So go see them in their new storefront location in downtown Beatrice. Grab some grandma's fruit cake, some chocolate rum cake, or my favorite, the turtle nut cake. And say hi to Rick and the crew. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hey, it's Nelson. Have you stopped by the newest Caterpillar Vapes location? It's here in Lincoln at 2601 North 11th Street and offers you the largest selection of premium e-juice, CBD, and Delta 8 in the capital city. Let the Caterpillar Vapes team walk you through all your options and find the perfect fit for you. Lowest prices? Guaranteed. Stock up and save and experience the difference for yourself. Returning Caterpillar customers grab rewards and amazing weekly deals, and new Caterpillar customers get 50% off their entire first purchase. Come in or use the drive-thru. Find them on Facebook or visit CaterpillarVapes.com.
This is Behind the Game with PJ, live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Priscilla Joseph.
We're going to ask Tania.
Are we? We're going to ask her?
68 degrees.
Okay, welcome back to Behind the Game with PJ on 93.7 The Ticketfm.com. Hour number 2 on this Thursday night here in beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska. Honda of Lincoln hotline, starter and text line 402-464-5685. If you have any questions, comments, concerns for PJ or for Peck,
that's right.
we're here. And we specifically have one very important question
Rico
for you,
has
Tanya.
a question for you.
I have a
Tanya.
very important question for you, and I feel like I already know the answer. Tanya, do you have 68 degrees in the house money?
I don't speak that. What does that mean? 68 degrees.
We missed it.
What does that mean?
Do you can you keep your AC at 68 degrees?
Oh. No.
She's lying. All right. At night, what is the temperature you have your house at?
Yes. At night. You need to be specific, okay? During the day, I work remotely. I work remotely, so during the day, up, okay? And then at night, yes.
68 degrees. Thank you.
So I was actually corrected when I got home. We do have ours at 68 at night. But during the day, since nobody's home, you just leave it.
I'm going in on you.
But that's different. No, that's no. That's different.
When we get off of this show,
it's different. It's different.
Tanya, last week we had a whole conversation.
You have yours at 68 all day because you're at home.
Whoa, lie.
You said
all day. No.
First of all, downstairs I have it at 74 degrees.
You have two different ones?
Yeah, I have an upstairs and a downstairs.
No, but
now he's gonna get on to you about that.
You can control the cold and the heat and the two different, or do you just
different units?
Oh, ma'am, I got one unit. What are you talking about? You got two units?
Listen, you know what? End of conversation. He has 68. Okay. Twitter.
Rico got two units?
Rico has 68.
No, the conversation has changed.
Sometimes there are. If you have multi levels, like in Kansas, our house, because we had a basement, had 3 levels.
I got 2 levels. Oh. I got a main floor and a basement. What are you talking about? 3 levels?
Just kidding. I've only had 1 level my entire life. I went from 1 level to 3 damn levels. Cut me some slack.
You got 2 different.
Sometimes you have basements.
Yeah, the basement is just always cool. Like no matter what you set the AC to, the basement's just cooler.
The basement was always freezing all the time. Oh my gosh.
You say it's a waste
of 1,200
square feet. Did you? She said it's a waste of 1,200 square feet.
We're done.
That's just the basement?
You know, that's not a waste of time. First of all, when it snows, you should have literally like indoor playing. That's what I did with my basement in Kansas. I had the jumpy house, that little Tykes jumpy house, blown up in my basement.
Mickey went and bought a couch for the downstairs. I'm like, no, this is a place where I send the kids downstairs to disappear. But we have like a bar and it's like air, like it's a whole thing downstairs. And I'm like, we don't use it.
Oh, it's not wasted space though. You will
eventually if we're
you will.
Two different ACs. You are crazy.
I mean, I probably don't even use the bottom unit, like the AC unit.
I got one thermostat that controls the temperature of my house. Talk about you got 2 different units.
Honestly,
listen, I'm new to Nebraska, Rico. Cut me some damn slack.
2 different ACs probably saves you on money in a way because they're cooling different areas, whereas one has to work extra hard to cool 2 different areas.
That's why I have her on today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It actually might, like in a weird way, it might help the electricity bill.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had 2.
We also
I've never paid for a second AC unit.
Rico's always just trying to make me look bad. Listen, we got to
give
a shout out to y'all, to McNeese's head coach, Mr. Gary Goff. He gave 93.7 the ticket a follow on Twitter.
He did.
But now I have a question.
Okay.
You guys have or is there a relationship between him and Tony, or how did that come about?
Okay, so Gary and Tony did not have a relationship before we came to McNeese. However, we are very close with a mutual friend of his, and this is why networking is so incredibly important with football. It's like the key. Like, yes, if you're a great coach, obviously that will help. However, and I know Priscilla can also attest to this, sometimes you see people get jobs and you're like, how did they get that job? How did they get that job?
We don't know.
Okay, who do we need to know? Who they know, pretty much. And so one of our really good friends, and in our circle, close circle, it's the Dawson family. We were with them at Southern Miss. Very close to Gary and his wife Tiffany, and they were looking for a defensive coordinator. Gary came from Valdosta. They were very successful there. And the great thing about Gary is that he's very loyal. Like pretty much most of the staff from Valdosta came to McNeese. I mean, a great, loyal, trustworthy guy. Awesome. And there's not a lot of those, right? Okay. And so he was looking for a defensive coordinator because his DC went and took another position after their season. And so Shannon really helped us and gave him Tony's information. Tony and him talked and it worked out and we came here. So the majority of the staff at McNeese is from Valdosta. So that is a different feeling in a way because we are not only new to a city, but we're new to a staff, but they have been so welcoming. They've been awesome. They've included us. It's been a huge relief because our stop at South Al was very short. You know, by the time that I moved there with the kids, we were only in Alabama for 7 months and then we moved again. I mean, it's crazy. It's wild. And so that
you can ask Tony for like absolutely anything and he should say whatever you want, babe.
Yeah, he should. I mean, right? Like it's like, do you still love me even though I'm a crazy Cuban? Yeah, we do.
How often have you like fully unpacked everything in your house?
Oh no, Tanya unpacks within like the first week.
I do.
I've been here for like 5 months and Mickey's like, what are you gonna do with that room? I'm like, listen, mind your business, man. I don't know.
I will tell you that I'm a very organized person. So I do not decorate like every wall.
Everything in her house labeled. Come to my house and
I do. Because I just feel like for me to function, I need to be organized, and I don't have everything decorated on the walls. I'm a very big minimalist, right? But I do unpack. Like within a week of moving, I have pretty much everything unpacked and organized and ready to go.
Listen, if it wasn't for Patricia Arzaga, I probably would still have 20, 30 boxes.
Yeah.
Because, like,
it's so hard.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
If I need something, I'll take it out of the box. If not, we're good. It's gonna stay in the box.
Yeah. And it changes too, because I feel like my first few moves with Tony, I would redecorate per space that we moved to, right? I would be like, okay, this is a different different layout. I need a couch here, I need a piece of art here, I need this. And then after like the fourth move, I was like, oh no, we're gonna recycle some stuff.
Don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need
that. I get rid of stuff, and you know it's so funny. I absolutely love my mother-in-law. Right? She's like the typical like Italian mother-in-law, and I am not like a hoarder. I'm like seriously a minimalist. Right? Like I literally, if you open up my cabinets, like I have 4 bowls, 4 plates, 4 cups. Like, I am such a minimalist, and so I remember her like coming to my house and being like, Tanya, like, where are your other things? And I was like, Nona, like, this is my stuff. And I was like, your son moves me. Your son moves me a lot. Nona, like, I can't have 10 plates. Like,
and I can't afford to move every time.
I can't. And it's funny because our moving company is pretty much the same one. So I literally call them and I'm like, it's the same amount of boxes. Same amount of kitchen stuff.
Hey guys, it's happening again.
It's happening again.
It's happening again. And it's crazy. When I called him after South Al to come to McNeese, he was like, wow, this is a quick call. And I was like, it's 7 months, Jimmy. 7 months, Jimmy.
He was amazing. We used him after you had told me because we hadn't had to do. Listen, let's just say, if I had this cross country move or moves as often as you did, girl, we'd be living in suitcases.
Yeah.
Like straight up, we'd be living in some suitcases because I'm not about that life and I'm not about paying that bill. When I told Mickey how much I was paying, he's like, we could have just sold all of our stuff and bought new stuff. And I was like, yeah, we should have done that. But I really like my stuff.
Yeah. Look, it's so hard. Like my goal when I move is I always set up the kids' rooms. Like the kids' rooms, because I want their environment to be comfortable. After I do the kids' rooms, look, I don't have one thing hanging in our bedroom. Our living room is very like I'm very specific. Yeah, I just, and I do no, like you just are very just like a minimalist because you just realize with this life, you don't really need a lot. As long as your kids are good, I'm good. Like I'm good. Tony's good. Like we're fine.
Listen, my kid wants to go to Target every day. I can't afford a nightstand.
Look, it's so Target.
Listen, a couple of days ago, I went to Target because the kids had no sandals. Like it's hot now. They need sandals. They outgrew last summer's. I'm like, let's go to Target. Melania's at soccer practice. Let's go get some sandals. So we went to go get some sandals, and Mickey Rain's like, I see Baby Shark. And I'm like, that's cool. Let's go, buddy. We got to go.
Oh, God,
I got
the Baby
sandals.
Shark.
I got your sandals. I got her sandals. It's time to go. He's like, no. So he's like going in the toy section, and I'm like, we're leaving. Put my stern voice on, and I'm like, let's go. He's like, no, mommy. Da, da, da. And he's like, I want daddy. And this was like while he was gone. And he's like, I want daddy. I'm like, all right, buddy. Let's call your dad. He's going to put his foot down and be like, boy, get your butt out of Target and let's go home, right?
No.
Oh, Mickey Joseph. I'm never calling this man ever again. Ever. I go, babe, listen, I'm about to show you your son. Tell him, let's get out of this toy section and let's go home. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, he wants this toy. I say, we came here to get some sandals. It's time to go. He's like, well, just buy him the toy and then I'll stop crying. I say, you know what?
Click. No.
You're cut off. I'm not calling you no more. Then he calls me back. What happened? I'm like, I don't need you. You had one job. Your job was to be like, look, son, mommy said, let's go. That means let's go. And you were like, nope, get the toy. And he goes, daddy said yes. I'm like,
it's so hard. Target, look, what has saved me is Target drive up, Walmart drive up, Sam's drive up. I do not take my toes in the stores.
You're a lot more organized. So I'm like, spur of the moment, Melania Tucker, let's go. Let's get this. I can see it. I can do it, whatever. Let's go.
But the point of Target is to go in and find things that you didn't know you needed.
And I spent $40 on a toy that we did not need.
Well,
it's horrible.
That's why you gotta know the layout of the Target. And you go around the toy. You avoid the toy.
They don't know. They don't care.
The section was right next to the toy section.
No, you drive by Target and they see the little circle and they're like, Target.
No. I mean, now he like wakes up every day. He goes, I go to Target today. I'm like, no, you don't, buddy. We're not going to Target.
You can walk.
We're not going to Target. No.
Trying to buy Target detergent's going to cost me $220. No, we are not going to Target.
True.
I just needed eggs. I don't know what happened.
Don't know what happened.
That's me when I really like just, okay, I'm going to run a Target real quick without the kids and then end up with a $400 bill.
So Tanya, we've talked to Priscilla about how close she is with some of the position players that her husband coaches. How much do you interact with the players that your husband coaches?
So we're very close to them. I would say, so when we moved at the end of February, I would say I was here probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we started having every defensive position over. So with Tony being a coordinator, we literally always invite every position, and we split it up. So every Sunday we had a separate defensive position come over. I would cook for them, and then we had a lot of activities outside. And so they spent really like 2 to 3 hours every Sunday with us. And it was like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. So we also have players over at Thanksgiving. We have them over in Christmas. We have them over in the summer. So we are very involved with the players. We go out to practice a lot. Our kids, especially Rocky is finally old enough. So our son, Rocky, if you couldn't tell that we have an Italian background, okay? Our son's name is Rocky. Rocky Pecoraro. So he goes to practice with Tony. This is actually the first season that during spring ball, I would pick him up from school and I would take him to practice. And he would stand on the sidelines with the players while Tony was coaching. And what an amazing experience that Coach Goff allowed Tony and allowed Rocky to be a part of, because I'm sure Priscilla also can attest to it, that we've been part of staffs where children are not welcomed, right? Or they are not, it's kind of frowned upon to be in the football office. And that's tough because we want our kids to understand that while daddy is not at home with us, he is at work making a difference. And it does alleviate that if we can be a part of football. And every stop is not like that. And it's incredibly difficult for the kids and the spouse. So Coach Goff here has been amazing. Rocky was at almost every spring practice with Rocky on the sidelines, and he was old enough to do that. And the players are with him. They knew him, we are very close to all the players that we have been a part of because they are part of our family, and I want them to feel welcome, and I want their families to know they are taken care of, and regardless if they need anything, it's kind of amazing where there's times where, and I'm sure Mickey goes through this, is that you're talking to grandmas, you're talking to aunts, you're talking to high school coaches who raise those players, you're talking to parents all the time. So recruiting is not just recruiting a player, it's actually recruiting an entire family and continuing to do so. It's a lot.
Well, I was having this conversation about how it started for us to kind of transition us as a family into the recruiting world, right? Like it was just me and Mickey, and then once we had Melania and stuff. But once Melania began to understand stuff, and she just would ask well, where is daddy and who is he spending time with, right? And at such a young age, it's well, can I meet at least who he's with, right? So then we started to communicate with each other and just be okay, well, she's asking these questions. She's asking okay, well, why isn't daddy home? And why is he spending all this time with these players, right? And if he is spending all this time with these players, can I at least get to know those players so that at least I have a relationship with them? So that's why, as much as Mickey's goal and dream job would be NFL, right? That's the ultimate goal for Mickey. But because of the age of our children, and because we know, we know so many people that are in the NFL, and not that it's not family oriented, but we have so much access to our husbands here in college. And from what I've heard, you don't have that access when you're in the NFL, right? I can't stop by on a Friday and drop off, treats and let my kids spend time with them before they, for a couple hours so that they get to know who daddy's spending time with. But at this level, we get to do that. And she's gotten to spend time with these players and build relationships. And now, she probably could have a whole room full of jerseys that of players that are now in the NFL that she not just knows, but literally whenever they call and hey, Mick, I need this, or hey, I'm struggling with this, they always start off with hey, how's Melania, right? Because they don't know little man, but they know Melania. But she's the first person they ask. They're oh, how's she doing? They're oh my God, I can't believe she's 7 already. But they have that relationship with her. And that is why I love college football, because we're allowed to have those relationships. And I think that's why we've been so big on creating such a family oriented environment in our world. And I think I think we live a very similar coach's wife life, that we want our kids to know that our, daddy might not be around, but it's not because he doesn't want to. It's because, we have a bigger mission, but we want the family involved.
So. And I will say, whenever we've moved, because we've moved a lot. So we've moved 10 times. Our daughter is 5 and she has lived in a different state each of her life, right? Like it's wild, right? And our kids are used to moving. They're very adaptable, and they know that nothing is permanent. However, what we tell them and the way that it's gotten us through is we are going somewhere where we are serving the team and the players in that community. And when our job is done, we will be going to serve somewhere else. And we may not understand why, we may not know how long we're going to be there, but while we are there, our job is to serve that community and those players and that team. And then we'll see. So it's funny, like sometimes when we move, especially our son, because he's 8, almost 9, and he'll be like, all right, Mama, so how long are we going to be here? Like, how long are we going to be at this house? Like, what do I need to be prepared for? Because he's like me. He wants to kind of know the plan. And I'm like, Rocky, God told us to come serve here. We're going to serve here. And then we'll figure it out. And I try to tell him every stop we've been at, you've made friends. You've been safe. You've had activities where it's sports or whatever. And our family has come to visit us. I said, so regardless of how long we're somewhere, we will be okay because we've always been okay. And that's the only option. Like we're serving, we're doing our best, and then we'll go from there. And we've been fine. I mean, this was a hard move in the sense because it was so quick. We've never moved so quick. It was literally only 7 months. We've never had such a short stop. However, we sold our house quickly within the first 24 hours. We bought a house right after. Yes. Like literally, like I was so nervous because Tony's like, okay, I want you to move immediately. And I was like, we own a house. Like, I don't know how this market's going to go. Literally, our house went up for sale. 24 hours. We had 4 offers. I came to Lake Charles, found a house, put in an offer. We got it. Like, it was God's timing. Boom, 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 boom. And we've always been taken care of. So it's going to be okay, you know. But this life just makes you see things in a different way. It really does. And you're really adaptable. Like, our kids, I really have confidence in them that I can put them in any culture, any setting, any group of people, and any position, any area in the country, and they will be fine. They're very kind. They're very respectful. They're very welcoming to anybody. And I can't say that about everybody.
Right? Like our kids are like they got blessed with being brought up in the South, and I feel that that helped a lot. At least for, you know, for our kids and stuff like that. But all right, let me ask you a question. Can we keep you on for like another 15 minutes?
I'm good. Look, I have not had the kids come in here, so keep it going.
All right. We'll take a quick little break, and then we'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket with Behind the Game with PJ.
Well, I'm an interior designer. A lot of builders don't have designers on staff. I'm included with our Aspen package and can make your home more custom to your taste, your needs, and your wants.
Rachel's our interior designer at Aspen Builders. She's one of the reasons that makes us really good at what we do. I'm Bob Benish, and we absolutely love how Rachel takes care of our clients.
I think the biggest challenge with building is a lot of clients are worried about all the choices. When they come in, they kind of have a deer in the headlights look. I like to ask people at the end, so what did you think? And usually they pause and they say, you know, you really broke it up, kept it simple. We just did one meeting at a time, so I wasn't looking at all the decisions I had to make. I had plenty of time to decide things. You walked me through it all. It made it simple.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Nominations for the Serve Nebraska Step Forward Awards are now open. Volunteers are making Nebraska communities stronger every day. Help us celebrate their hard work by nominating the volunteers in your life. The Step Forward Awards are the most prestigious awards for volunteerism in the state, and honorees are hand-selected by Nebraska's governor. Learn more about the Step Forward Awards and submit a nomination by July 1st at serve.nebraska.gov. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Builders Association, and this station.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go.
Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Call Nebraska Auto Detail today at 402-601-5086.
Wedding season is underway. Stop wearing your fading, wrinkling shirts and update your wardrobe today at M Suits Clothiers in Lincoln. M Suits has men's clothing for every occasion, from business to leisure to weddings and formals. And they've been chosen by Lincoln as best of men's clothing for 4 years running. The buying process is quick and easy with personal service that's hard to find. And they're family owned, where you are also treated like a part of the family. M Suits Clothiers, just south of 56th and Pine Lake on Red Rock Lane.
Spring has arrived. Dust off your clubs and play the city. Lincoln City Golf Courses offer 5 different places to play, including Holmes, Pioneers, Highlands, Mahoney, and the par 3 Jim Ager course. Plus, one membership gets you access to all 5 courses, or ask about a discount card that gets you 15% off all rounds. There's also adult classes with lessons for every level with Lincoln City Golf Academy. Learn more about membership and classes today at lincolncitygolf.org.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community, putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Behind the Game with PJ with Priscilla Joseph on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You got your question? Welcome back to Behind the Game with PJ, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. It's a little party here. We're having fun. We're drinking wine. We're asking great questions. We're getting great answers from Tania Pecoraro.
There you go.
Wow, good for you.
You're on the radio, man. I know words.
Yeah, Rico does all the reading for me.
Hit us up on the Lincoln Hotline, Starter Haven text line 402-464-5685. We have a question on the text line, but I think, Priscilla, do you want your question first? Or okay. So this is for both of you. This is for both of you, both the coaches. Do you notice big differences in players when they have their own kids?
You can answer first.
Okay. So he didn't read the whole question, but
Well, we don't have to include that last part.
We're not going to, but okay. So yes, when we've had players that have children, they are completely different. We've had maybe one that's not completely different, and he's just a special human being, and he's just living his best life and doing what he needs to do. But not that he's not taking care of his kids and all that stuff. But I feel like, especially at this level, when athletes have their own kids, their mindset changes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, but yes, like they're not thinking like, okay, they're thinking, what can I do and what do I need to do? And these are my priorities to get to the NFL. Those are the kids that have had kids for us. What about for you?
We have always had an open door policy, meaning if you have a significant other, if you have a child with someone, if you have a family member visiting, and you were going to come to our house, regardless if it's a holiday or if it's just like a defensive dinner, you're welcome to. And so I specifically have not seen a difference just because our door is open. So I'm sure Priscilla can attest to it too, where a lot of times just because you're a defensive player doesn't mean that you live with a defensive player, right? Like it could be different positions. So if we have the linebackers over, we may have an O lineman. We might have a quarterback because then they live together. And so we've at times for holidays or dinners had, kids come to our house and their children or their significant other or their family member. I can't tell you how many times we have families at our house that are from a player or a recruit. So for me, I haven't necessarily noticed a difference just because we have people coming in and out, like we have a new player starting. He has been amazing so far. He was just at our house, just getting to know the layout and getting to know us because we want you to feel comfortable with us because we really do believe that if you feel part of our family, you will perform better because you feel like you are a part of the goal. And, I don't want the players to feel like it's very surface and we just want them to perform and that's it. We don't care about them because at the end of the day, yes, you care about the stats, but you are developing young men. Like you are developing young men into be a good person in society. So we want them to see an example of a family dynamic and what it's like for Tony to be a dad.
I'm going to bring some controversy to this because as much as we are very welcoming in our household, our players are not allowed to just bring over a girlfriend and whoever they want to our house because my kids become very and like on the extreme level attached to people.
Yeah.
So let's say one of our players brings over a girlfriend and our daughter falls in love with her and is playing with her and has a phenomenal night with her. And she's like, oh, can she like watch us at one night that you guys have to go out? And then I will go to text Mickey like, hey, can I get such and such number so that she can come? He's like, oh, can't. Player's not with her no more.
They broke up. Yeah.
So after having an experience like that, we kind of closed our doors a little bit, yes, bring, but not if she's just a thing and she's a thing, you're not allowed to bring her over. If it's something a little bit more like, okay, steady,
yes,
then yes, you can bring her to my house. But if not, no, you're not allowed to. And I'm just upfront with it because I don't need to meet 20 of your girlfriends. And you're in college. You're allowed to have 20 girlfriends, but I don't want to meet all 20 of them. And that's just me as a coach. So yes, I'm kind of jealous that you guys have that, but at the same time, like I'm like my kids.
I will say that most of the time we have not had players bring a significant
We're also
other.
dealing with skill players over here, and I think skill players and defensive players are literally really like let's just be honest. Skill players and defensive, like not that like I don't.
It's just different. It's like a different mindset.
Right?
I get it.
Players.
Totally
we know. Like
yes.
Defensive players and skill players are.
It's just different.
I know exactly what you're saying, but I really just want you to say it.
I can't.
No, don't get her in trouble.
He's trying to like set me up, and I'm not falling in your trap, Rico.
Okay, whatever.
Next question.
Okay, so this is one that I had. Coach's kids. Okay, and I've had a lot of people ask me to like do a little coach's kids segment because they're really intrigued into the life that they live. So I have a story that I want to tell, but here's my question to you. What can we as people learn from coaches' kids? Okay. So here's my story. And I should call him out, but I'm not going to. So Melania's principal directs morning school traffic, right? In the morning. Wave to him every morning. Melania gets out, whatever. They do the thing. but I like when I registered her, I never met him because he was gone and all this stuff. So then the other day I met him and I'm like, hey, it's nice to finally meet you. I love what you guys are doing here because as great of education that we provided for her in the state of Louisiana, it just was not enough for her when we moved here. And I think normal people don't understand that that's a thing. Like we lived in the state of Louisiana for 9 years and we provided her with the best education that she could in the state of Louisiana. Like she was at the #1 school in the state, paid a lot of money. And yet when we got to the state of Nebraska at one of the top elementary schools in Lincoln or in Nebraska, she was still fairly not like excessively behind, but she was still behind. Yeah. And it was, like, and on top of being behind, she was still like, it was overwhelming for her. She explained to me, she's like, I go to school, I'm looking around and they all know what, like, this is what we do first. And then we do this, like they were in a routine and she was not in it. So that was like trying to catch up on, this is what we do on Monday. This is what we do on Tuesday. Right. Because we moved just as quickly as y'all. Like we got the job in December and we were here in January, like second week. Like it was weeks. Like everyone's like, how the heck did y'all do it? And all this stuff. So we did it. We moved quickly. My kids don't do good when they're not with Mickey. So, but so I was telling him, I'm like, I appreciate all the love that she's gotten. And it's not just like educational. It's just been a lot of emotional support and just been like, look, it's like no stress, like do this on your own, but we're going to be with you the whole way. And I was just telling him that. And I was just like, it's great to meet you, like finally meet you, because I never really got to meet him when I registered her. And he was like, oh, it's okay. Like, I really like follow you on Twitter. And I was like telling Melania, because she was I don't know if your kids, okay, so let me ask you this. Do your kids struggle during recruiting?
So I will say that our kids are different in how they react to Tony not being around.
Yeah.
Rocky, our son, is very close to Tony. So the way that he would deal with Tony not being around, gone for recruiting, because remember, during season, they're gone for a night or two, right? Yeah. Like for an away game. Season is easy. People, a lot of times people are like, oh, season's over, he's home. I'm like, oh no, now starts like the chaos. Like season, they're home. Even if they're only
like that's a consistent schedule. Yes.
Yes. Whereas after season, it's like they're gone 2 to 3 weeks at a time. So it's a lot harder after season. So Rocky tends to sometimes get whiny or depressed or disconnected. Very disconnected. Whereas Izzy, the way that she deals with Tony's absence is to get extremely clingy with me and like has separation anxiety where it's like I can walk into the bedroom and she's in the kitchen. She's like, Mama. She does the mama check-ins, right? It's like, Mama. And I'm like, Izzy, I'm right here. She's like, okay, love you. Like she does those check-ins. So, however, I will say that FaceTime calls, if Tony cannot FaceTime, I will have him do videos. And I will say, okay, if you get on the road early, I need you to record a video of you saying, good morning, I love you, have a great day, and text it to me. And then I'll play it for them in the morning. So it does get a little bit easier in some sense, but recruiting is tough because you readjust your life and schedule to them not being around. And then they pop in 3 weeks later, right? And I call it Disney Dad, right? Okay, it's like they pop in later and you're like, and then it stirs everything up and you're like, oh, I've been like a single mom for like 3 weeks or primary parenting.
Tomorrow.
It's so hard. It's like primary parenting. That's how I call it. Coaches' wives are primary parents. We're not single parents because we have more than one income, but we are primary parents in that if it's a call from a school, a call from a doctor, a family emergency, it is us. We are the primary contact and it is difficult. It's difficult.
Do you want to take it?
Yeah. Okay. So we have a caller.
Oh.
Who is it? Who is it?
It is my stepson, Zachary Joseph.
Oh.
Hey, Zach. What's up? Welcome to Behind the Game with PJ.
How we doing?
We're doing fantastic.
Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete.
What's up, Zach?
Hey, Dad don't know how to change a light bulb?
Listen,
Oh,
Zach,
Mickey.
let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen him change one?
I think so. I don't know. I was probably young though.
How old were you? I mean, wait, can we tell everyone how old you are now and when you probably saw him do it then?
Oh, man. I'm 28 now. I was probably
2.
5.
So you haven't seen him change a light bulb in over like 20 some years?
Well, he's been working. He's been grinding.
Listen, you are a true father's son over here calling in to defend your father that he knows how to change a light bulb.
Hey, he knows how to change it. I know he does. Hey, P, that pasta you made, that was good. I just left their house and she made us some pasta, and that stuff is good.
How was Dad's chicken? Because I'm jealous that you guys got to eat it and I didn't.
It was real. He taught me a couple tricks. Now I know how to cook chicken a little better.
There you go. Good.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite meal from him that I didn't eat. That I didn't.
And
get
you're
to
missing
eat.
it. You're missing it. All because you talked about a light bulb.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
So, Melania will see you on Saturday.
Oh yeah, she got a soccer game at 3, right?
There you go. No, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Changed it.
Surprise.
To 10 a.m.
Oh man, 10 o'clock. I gotta wake up.
Just every day, gotta wake up.
Just a little earlier this
Just
time.
a little bit.
Hey, just a little early. She's not gonna be a soccer player though. She's gonna be volleyball
or softball, bruh. Like seriously.
Yeah,
Okay.
softball for sure.
All right, we got to get to a break though. We got to get to a break.
Thanks for calling in, Zach. We love
No problem.
you.
Love you, P. Love 93.7.
Love you.
We love all the love.
All the love.
It's fantastic. We got to get to a break. Tanya, can you stick around for? It's
5
gonna be a
minutes.
super short
5
segment. We had
minutes.
quick break and then a super short segment. Can you stick around?
I can.
All right, we're gonna head to a break. You're listening to Behind the Game with PJ.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
The weather in Nebraska is unpredictable every day, and that's no fun when you're trying to golf. Double Eagle Golf in West Lincoln is now open to let you play in perfect indoor conditions daily. Double Eagle Golf has 5 simulator bays to hit in, by far the most in Lincoln. It has a fully stocked bar with beers and cocktails for you to enjoy while you play. Double Eagle Golf is open each weekday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., so you can start the day there, take a client over lunch, or end the night with friends. Check out Double Eagle Golf today inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's favorites.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Back to Behind the Game with PJ on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey. Always a party. Super short segment. We don't have that much time to party.
All right,
Final segment, Behind the Game with PJ, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
All right, so we never got to my question of what can people learn from coaches' kids? Like, if you were to give somebody and be like, okay, the life that my kids have lived, this is what I've taken from them.
I think that coaches' kids are extremely adaptable because they have to be. And I also believe that coaches' kids are resilient. You know, I really think that because you're put in a position of, just imagine, regardless if you're 5 years old or 10 years old or a teenager, you're put into a community where most people have lived the same life around the same family all together, and they don't leave. And if they vacation, it's maybe a few hours away. And we're put into a situation where our kids are coming into that. And kids are so awesome to just really meet people and not have preconceived notions.
People tried to, like, what, not to like give them like some slack, or what should they know about a coach's kid? Like, what
I think that they want
like different.
I think coaches' kids want to be accepted. I can only speak for mine because I just know that mine want to be accepted, like invited, whether it's to play or whether it's to dinner or whether it's like, because they want to be a part of that community. Because remember, they can't just go hang out with family or hang out with, other people. So I think coaches' kids, a lot of times, maybe some people in the community they don't know us or they don't know how to approach us. But I think at the end of the day, just invite us, just include us, because we are so brand new. And our goal is to be a part of the community, to make it successful and bring you all into football as much as we want to be brought into the community.
Yes, I can attest for that 1,000%. Because I feel like here, like I've told Milani, there's certain things that she's just not allowed to do, right? Like you have to be on your best behavior at all times. One, because Nebraska's in a little bit, it's like a fishbowl, people like to say. It's, so everybody knows that's Mickey Joseph's kid, right?
Yes.
And we've had instances where she acts a certain way or says certain things, and it's like, no, you can't do that because of who you are. But at the same time, when they are around their peers, they still want to feel like they're normal. So when other children are very inclusive, it makes them feel like, oh, I'm just like anybody else, until like mom or dad say like, oh, we're not.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, at school, they're just normal. Like the teachers may know, or their coaches may know who their dad is, but the students don't. And so my kids have always loved going to school because it is normal for them. And one of the things I do as soon as we move is I get my kids in a sport. Like I really, 1 week, as soon as we're living in a new community, I get them in a sport, regardless of what sport it is, because that is their norm. Kids don't know who their dad is. Kids don't know we are with football. And so they're treated just like a new kid, and they're welcomed. And so I'm very proud of my kids. My kids are growing up completely different than I am. So it's hard. I can't even relate to them,
Exactly.
and I'm not saying that it is perfect, because we have struggled. When we moved this last time from Alabama, it was hard because, again, it was a short stop. And my kids loved their school in Alabama. And so they kept on saying, but I'm going to miss it, but I'm going to miss it. And I love it. And I said, it is okay to miss something, because that means you really loved it and you cared about it. However, we are meant to serve here. So let's go ahead and build a foundation here.
Yes. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us.
I
think
miss you.
You gave our listeners a great job, a great listen to. Like, I just can't. I'm all out of words. Thank you so much. It was so great seeing you. I love you. I miss you. Kiss
I
and
love
hug.
you too. Thank you all so much and good luck next season. I will talk to you soon.
Go outside, cast a line, and reel in good times.